We are on the laptop, or the computer top. You can use a laptop if you were at home doing this, but you could only go so far in using Ancestry on that. So you click on the Ancestry library shortcut. And at this point, you can see a lot of things on here. There's a lot of quick links. If you were looking for a will or something, you could go in this way and look for information. You could go to the military from here. You could go to for the wills, could be here. Some have stories, and some have the birth, marriage, and death records, dates at least. And here's for immigration. And they do have a spot here that has newspaper obits. Yours may not be included, but you could try that. Over here is the U.S. Census Records, and there was none for 1890. Most of the records were burnt during the war. So, 1850 is where you start seeing the names of the children listed. The ones before that are just the head of the household, and then it will have checks as to what ages and what sex the child was. But 1850 is where you will get much more information. We're going to start at Begin Searching. And also your special collections are down this way. It's called the card catalog if you were wanting, again, to look at just one of those. This is the Explore by Location, if you wanted to do that. So, what we want to do is put in the first and middle name of an ancestor. And I'm going to use, you'll want your information right available to you. I'm going to use my ancestor as an example. My last name was also spelled as Vishkoff. Where they might have lived might not have been way back when, but start where you know that they lived. And if you don't know that there's a town, you might try the county. And I'm going to just use the county for now. Excuse me. You can use abbreviations. It will get you there, and you can click on this. And if you know the birth date or the approximate date, you can put one in. And search from there. Now it says exact, plus or minus, and it could be this, plus or minus a year, 2, 5, 10, but you don't have to use that. So you see it comes up with information of what I ask, and you go from there. And if you'll notice, there are a lot of English records. We are not going to use those because I'm not, at this point, sure that's where they came from. So I'm going to go back over here and show you that it's just North America. And it will take you down to this, Henry was married to Fanny, so if the spouse is known, you can put it in this. And if you have other information, you forgot something, you can put edit search, add it, and then it will, and push update. So I'm going to see what this is. Depending on what you're going to use your information for, there are certain records that you are not acceptable, such as for DAR or SAR. And the international marriage bond is not an acceptable one at this point. But you can click or even just view this. You can see that they were born, he was born in 1757, his name, her name, and the date they were married. You can click on it, go over here, and hit View Details. And it will come up with this. This means there's no image to look at. But down here is your source citations. If you were wanting to go to one of these, you will see where they are listed and what they used as their database to put this in. Here's the U.S. International Marriage Records, and it's from 1560 to 1900.
Okay.
As you can see, we have all the listings. These are from England. We don't know that we have any that are from England, even though they have the 1757 year. If something looks like it might come in, that's fine. Here's from Germany. That could be a possibility. But make sure that you've got your information that you have matching this, and your information may be off. Now, we just have the one page, so that's all we can look for. Let's see this one. He was born in 1757. His name was Johann Heinrich. But the father does not match him. I know personally that the father's name was John, so we'll just skip that one. We'll go back this way, and maybe we want to go to the 1800s and look at that. Some of these are still in the list that we had before. So we're going to go back one more time and say see more like this. Now these are in the trees of the families, and what you will want to know is that we have the same person listed. Now you see here's Francis or Fanny Simpkins, and we have this. You come along and hit that. You have your Henry Bishop was born in 1757. We at first believed that he was born in the Netherlands, but that was his leaving port. So the Netherlands is not right on this part. And he did die on June 21st, 1839 in Montgomery County, Virginia. He was 82 years old.
So these are things that other individuals have found and put in here.
Exactly. And it may be clues. And so they have attached this with this, and now we're going to go and see if we can find his father and mother. So we'll go back. And this one, the next one that has this tree, says he was born in 1757 in Virginia, and he died in 1839 in Virginia. He was married in Montgomery County, and these were his parents. And here's his spouse. That's a very, very close semblance of what I'm wanting to look at. His father's name, it looks like, was listed as Hans Johannes, but he was called John Bishop. Now this is her married name of Bishop, Margaretha, and Overmeyer happens to be her father's name. So if you want to go in and see the 3 attached records and the sources, we just go to this. His father was 26 and his mother was 24 when they had him in Virginia. And so now they have the 3 that you can look at. That gives you a hint as to what is there, and you would want to jot those down. He had a sister, Margaret, or Peggy, and she was born in 1758. He had a brother, George, who was born in Maryland. And he had another brother, Jacob, who was born in Virginia. Sometimes you have duplicates. You just want to make sure that the information still is the same. Here's his mother, who passed away in 1772 in Montgomery, Virginia. And here is his father, who passed away in 1775 in Virginia. His father apparently remarried, and he had a brother that was a half-brother, born in 1776, which does not make sense, because the mother died in 1772, the father died in 1775, and he was born in 1776. So I would, at this point, make a note, but not include that at this time. Here's where he married Fanny. That's in the Montgomery County, Virginia. If you wanted to know about that, you could write and request information. There would probably be a fee, but you could ask for the marriage certificate of this, a copy of it, and they would tell you how much you would need to pay. There's when his sister died. He was 73 at the time. He lived in Virginia all his life. And that's the information. As you can see, this is what they call a timeline. So you picked up quite a bit of information just from pushing that one button.